What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at San Francisco. I'm out here for a vacation, and I thought to myself, why not check out what the manga section is looking like, or the manga scene is looking like over here. So I'm gonna head over to Japantown, San Francisco, and they have a Kinokuniya there, so I'd like to see how it compares to the ones in LA. If it's any different or pretty much the same. Me personally, I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty similar because it's a Kinokuniya. And I also have a $10 gift card, so I will be using that for sure. And for the question of the day, what is one series that everybody likes, but for some reason you just can't find yourself liking? For me, personally, it's probably gonna be Chainsaw Man, because I watched that first episode and I was just like, it's cool, but it wasn't anything crazy. But hopefully it like subverts my expectations. But yeah, let's go. All right, so let's talk about the difference between this Kinokuniya and the Kinokuniya over near my house in LA. There are a bunch in LA. There are like 3 of them, I believe, maybe 4, if I remember correctly. But compared to this San Francisco one, I would say that the manga section and the light novel section over in LA is a lot better than the selection over here in San Francisco. What I did notice was a lot of gaps in the shelves, I would say. Like, there were a lot of missing volumes, I guess because they didn't get stock. And usually over at the LA places, there's a lot of stock. In fact, there's maybe too much stock. But what I will say about the San Francisco Kinokuniya is that they do have a lot of merch, and it's very, very well organized. And it's a lot better than the ones over in LA. I mean, this one even has figures, it had plushies, it had a bunch of acrylic stands for a bunch of different series, something that we don't really see in the LA shop. So that is one plus that I would give it. And then also, there are a bunch of art books as well. Art books and magazines, which for, collectors who like that stuff, this is definitely the Kinokuniya to go to. Don't get me wrong, the ones in LA, they're pretty good, but the selection here was just a lot better. And they also leave like some volumes open for you to go look at, and you'll really get to see like what you're buying before you actually buy it, which is something that I think most Kinokuniya should do. I will say that because of this, a lot of the art books, at least the open ones, were kind of damaged, so I guess I get why they don't really do that too often. But let's look over at the manga section. Over here, some Bakemonogatari. I did think about getting it, and I did look at this cover because I think it's one of the coolest manga covers ever. It might be the coolest manga cover ever because it has Ararawgi looking like a badass. So I was thinking of picking that up, but decided not to. Beastars was over here, Banana Fish, Berserk over there as well, and then some Black Butler, some Midsaw Man over there in that as well, Darling in the Franxx next to it, and Call of the Night. I really did want to pick up Call of the Night, but they didn't have volume 1. They had volumes 2 and 3, which was kind of unfortunate because I did want to pick up that series physically. However, they did have the best sports manga ever, Blue Lock. If you're not watching Blue Lock, I don't know what you're doing. It's amazing. Not really. But it was there for, Blue Lock fans. Don't know if there are any of them, though. Moving on, they had some Captain Warlock, a bunch of Demon Slayer down there. I believe that they did also have the Demon Slayer box set there. Don't quote me on that, but I have a feeling they did, and it was in, like, the back. And then they also had this Devil's Candy. I don't know what that's about, but it was over there. They also had some Death Note Black Edition singles and the all-in-one version. I heard the all-in-one version is very hard to read because it's basically a Bible, and it's like very lopsided when you get to the beginning and end parts of the manga. It's really hard to flip. They also had some index manga there, some Naruto, Boruto, the GOAT, Boruto, over there as well. Some Nichijou was there, They didn't have the box set like some Kinokunias do. There was also some Ping Pong there, some Parasite, No Guns Life. They had some Orochi, which I wasn't really sure what that was about, but the covers did look cool. They had some Oshinbo, which I had never seen before. I don't think I've seen that over in the LA Kinokunias, so there's that to keep in mind. And then they also had some One Piece, Noragami, singles, and the Omnibus as well. A lot of One Piece, I must say. A lot. They also had some One Punch Man over there. And then they had some Overlord, Orin Host Club, which I think I want to read. I'm not sure. I'd heard it's a pretty good romance, and it's pretty much a classic according to a lot of people, so I'll eventually have to check it out one day. They had some Parasite volumes there. Haven't really seen a lot of Parasite in my Kinokunias, so that was pretty cool to see. Some Persona 5 over there as well. Still have not finished the game, and honestly, I don't really have a lot of motivation to, unfortunately. The Quintessential Quintuplets was there. I do know a movie's coming out, and they have Bunny Girl Senpai, Record of Ragnarok, and then a bunch of Orin Host Club down there, Princess Jellyfish, The Promised Neverland, Pretty Boy Detective Club, and then next to it was some Pokemon. And then one other thing that I have to say about the San Francisco Kinokuniya while we're looking at these shows over here is that they did have a very extensive Blu-ray selection, which I didn't really record, but it was pretty cool to see. And they also had a lot of CDs, which also had some Hololive stuff, but that stuff was very highly priced. And hold on, Rent a Girlfriend was on the shelf. Can't overlook that. Rent a Girlfriend, pick it up if you haven't. But yeah, they did have a lot of, like, look at that, Rent a Girlfriend. Wow, look at that. But they did have a lot of CDs and stuff, so that was really cool to see. They had some Suisei CDs, which I wanted to pick up, but I decided not to because it was like $45. Moving on, some Sakamoto Days was over there, which I heard is pretty funny, but also kind of controversial. Some Sailor Moon on the shelves, and some Seven Deadly Sins. They also had some Sex Ed next to it. Don't know what it's about, but I do find the title pretty interesting, so maybe one day I'll check it out. Next to it, there was some Seraph of the End, and then there was some Say I Love You. I don't think I've started that series because I don't really like how the art looks, but I guess I think the concept is cool. And then here I am showing a bunch of Chainsaw Man volumes, some Tokyo Revengers, Mid X Mid next to each other. What can I say? Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro was over there. Dinosaur Sanctuary, which I thought was funny because it had a T-Rex on it, was over there. More Nagatoro volumes, Dorohedoro, but as you can see, there are like some gaps in the shelf next to it, if you didn't notice, so that was like a big thing in this Kinokuniya. They also had The Demon Girl Next Door, some Devil's Ecstasy, The Devil is a Part-Timer spin-off. Not really interested in those though. Some Dragon Ball. Look at that big gap in the shelf. My god. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and then some Ed and Zero over there. Some Dungeon People next to it, and Fairy Tail under it as well. They had some Evangelion over there. I don't really know if the anime came first or the manga, so let me know in the comments which came first. I still need to check the series out for sure, but I think I'll do that like on my own time. Fire Force, Fairy Tail on the shelves as well. And then next to it was some Fooly Cooly. And they also had some Fruits Basket omnibuses, some Food Wars, and then yeah, a bunch of stuff over here that I guess I've checked out, but it hasn't, piqued my interest too much. Yeah, but Fruits Basket omnibuses, Full Metal Alchemist, Gabriel Dropout was there, which definitely interests me. I do need to collect the rest of the series, and I'm probably going to rewatch the anime because I did enjoy it very much back then, and I think I would enjoy it a lot more now. The Girl from the Other Side is also there, which I do know has like a deluxe edition with a hardcover, and I think it's leather. Not very sure, but if I were to collect it, I would definitely get the deluxe edition. They also had some Garden of Words, Jahi, Haikyuu was over there as well. Haikyuu actually had a bunch of stock, can't lie. And then more Jahi, Grand Blue Fantasy, Golden Kamuy was next to it, and some Goblin Slayer. And then looking further, they also had a lot of titles that I had never really seen before. They had some Happy Kaneko's Killer Life. Don't know what that's about. I honestly didn't know what much on this shelf was about except for Hell's Paradise, to be honest. They had some Arslan, which I thought was a different title, but it was definitely not what I was thinking. Some Himoto-chan or Himuru-chan, I'm not even sure. But that was there. I do know that that's a pretty iconic character. And then to round it out, there was some Horimiya. And then this shelf had a bunch of Hunter x Hunter. I thought this cover was interesting because of how it was drawn. It was very, like, funny to me. I don't know. But they also had some more Hunter x Hunter on there. And then they had some, If It's For My Daughter, I Even Defeated Demon Lord. I hope that's a wholesome series. I think it is. But yeah, they had some I'm Standing on a Million Lives over there, some Inuyasha. Haven't checked Inuyasha out. And then this was like a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, it literally took up the whole bottom part of the shelf, which is crazy. Some JoJo's next to it as well. Then they had some Kaguya-sama Love is War, which is ending next week at the time of this recording, which is kind of crazy to think about because it was one of the first manga that I read. I binged it right after checking out the anime season 1, and it was one of my favorites, but given that I've been reading it weekly, it's kind of been whatever to me. I haven't read since like chapter 220 something, so I should be in for a pretty good binge once it finishes off. And there was some JoJo's there, some Kakegurui, some Kirby manga was there as well, and then yeah, just a bunch of titles that you kind of see in most bookstores. Komi Can't Communicate is always there. Konosuba was over there as well. But yeah, they had a Yuri section as well, but for some reason it was filled with a bunch of yaoi stuff and boys love stuff, which I thought would get its own section. But I do wish that they had some Bloom Into You and more Yuri stuff there, because I definitely would have bought it, because I was there to spend money. And unfortunately, I don't really think we spent as much as I thought I would, which is good for me, good for my wallet, but maybe not good for the video. But yeah, some Shaman King omnibuses were over there. They had some Snow White and the Red Hair over there as well. They had Volume 1, which I had never seen before actually, and it looked kind of cute. So yeah, I'm probably going to watch the anime before I check the manga out though. They had some Solo Leveling there, and then they had the Silent Voice Collector's Editions. They do have those over in the LA Kinokuniyas as well. A Super Mario manga for some reason, and then some Spy Family over there. Season 1 Part 2 is airing at the time this is recording, so there's that. And then they also had some Slime manga, Slime spin-off mangas, and they also had some Steins Gate over there with a big gap next to it. I do know that, speaking of Steins Gate, that Chaos Head Noah came out recently. It's a visual novel if you don't know, and I definitely want to play that with the right patch, so there's that. Soul Eater was there, which I watched the first episode of the anime when I was over in San Francisco, and I cannot believe that I was really interested in the series, because that first episode was kind of not a banger. It was a sleeper, but I'm sure it gets better, so I think I'll give it another chance. Some Toilet Bound Hanako-kun over there as well. If you guys know, I do love Hanako-kun. I love the art, and the story is actually really good, which is something I didn't think would happen. To Your Eternity was over there as well. I think that's getting a season 2, if I'm not mistaken right now. And then they also had some Trinity 7 up there, if you didn't see, and some Vinland Saga. More Hanako-kun was there as well. Wotsukoi was also there. I do enjoy the Wotsukoi covers, but unfortunately I don't really enjoy the series myself. It is what it is. They also had some Way of a House Husband over there, and then Welcome Back Alice, Witch Hat Atelier was there. I do need to read that because I heard it's pretty good and it might be getting an anime. They had some Yotsuba, Your Lie in April was there as well. And yeah, so like my final thoughts on the Kinokuniya, like I said before, it was really good to see something different in Kinokuniya. I'm kind of tired of just seeing the same one every week, I'm not gonna lie to you when I go, but I don't think I should expect too much because I go every single week. I mean, how much can it really change every week, you know? And yeah, This was just the light novel section over there. It was pretty well organized, and I did find something that did pique my interest, which you guys will see at the end. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of good stuff over in the light novel section. The whole Monogatari series, Pretty Boy Detective Club next to it, Katanagatari was next to it, wink wink, Katanagatari, might have gotten that, not gonna lie to you, and then some Slime, Sword Art Online, and yeah, that was pretty much it for the Kinokuniya. Alright y'all, we are back. Not gonna lie, I was not feeling very good in that Kinokuniya. I was like really dizzy. So if the video seems like kind of rushed, that's why. But yeah, we were able to purchase this right here, volume 1 of Katanagatari. I've been looking for this for a cool minute. They've always had volumes like 4, and I think that's it. I like the Barnes & Noble near my house, so it was finally good to finally see a volume 1 over there, so I had to pick it up. It's a little pricey at $30 because it is a hardcover, and yes, it's a light novel, but y'all know that I love reading light novels, so yeah, pretty excited to check this one out. But yeah, with all that being said, that's it for the video. Appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, appreciate all the support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.